Welcome back. We have to talk about some pretty big news regarding XRP, President Trump, and really kind of the hidden road acquisition and how massive it is. We have some clips of Brad Garlinghouse we're going to talk about. And I know a lot of people are frustrated about the current state of the market. I get it. I am too. I need my Ethereum to hit $10. I need my XRP to hit $5.89. I need all my other bags to just absolutely send. But one positive thing I'm going to say about the patience that this particular market is teaching us, well, it's forcing us to have patience, because things are taking a lot more time than many people anticipated. Why are they taking a lot more time? Because that's how life works. You can't always get what you want, babe. But every single thing that we're seeing come into fruition, the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is coming to a close soon. The SEC has dropped multiple other frivolous lawsuits against other crypto companies. Exchanges, the DeFi broker rule that would impact all decentralized entities to report your personal data transactions or whatever else to the IRS, and essentially would have destroyed crypto here. That is gone now. There's so many more things I can add to this. But every single action that's happened or that is happening, it is building us a solid foundation that we can continue to grow with. And I absolutely love it. And again, I know that it's taking time. I know we're getting frustrated, but those of you that have been paying attention, that have been educating yourself, that have a trading or investing plan, you're going to do perfectly fine. You will do absolutely amazing. And when the time comes for you to realize your gains, you do what you need to do. You take profit. Of course, talk to a CPA and a professional and all that type of stuff, but we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we are getting there. Now, we've got some clips that we have to go ahead and listen to. Also, happy Manic Monday. I have to give a shout out to all of my channel members because you guys support me, and it just means the world to me. Good morning to John, gorgeous Alexandra, Mr. R, Mr. Eric, Mr. John Legend, and of course, my good friend that watches me on Miralax VHS, Mr. John Germain. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, but let's go ahead and get into it. I'm very excited. I'm excited. All right, this is the current state of the market, but we'll cover that. We will cover that. Let's go ahead and watch this clip. These are from my good buddies over at Good Morning Crypto. We always speed things up just a little bit for you guys.
You know, President Trump has made big strides that are very pro-crypto. It's got to be great for somebody like you. However, the price of, let's just say Bitcoin, which reached a high after the election of something like $107,000, is nowhere near that now. I think we're around 86,000 and change, but it's been a market drop. When do you foresee this moving back up? Because we've seen all kinds of wild projections of something like $250,000 per Bitcoin by the end of this year to people who say this thing's going down.
Yeah. When I think about that, your last guest, Larry Fink, talked about just taking the long-term view.
Right.
And
Larry Fink talked about taking a long-term view. I've been on many mainstream media outlets. I've even been on Fox with Mr. Charles in the past. But I want to tell you guys something. They always want to know about price. They want to talk about speculation. They want to get into price. They want to get you guys feeling that FOMO and just getting cuckoo, okay? They want you to be impatient. But Larry Fink from BlackRock said a long-term stance. That means patience. That is the same thing I have reiterated to you time and time again. Showcase patience. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. Okay, let's go back to the clip. It's too much. Let's see.
And I almost don't think about it in that kind of short-term time.
I don't think about it in a short-term time frame. Traditional finance, when they have quality assets, they do not think about it in the short-term time frame unless they need to do quarterly reports, whatever disclosures they need, or if it's going to benefit them tax-wise. These guys come in with trading and investing plans. They wait for the market. They pay attention to market circumstances, but they pay attention and they are patient. And that's why they outperform retail. We are not taught to be patient, but these guys are taught to be patient. And again, this is why I tell you, consult with the CPA or whomever is helping you with your finances about your trading and investing plan and see what it makes sense.
frame. I think about what are the macro trends playing out for the crypto industry, for the XRP ecosystem. XRP has been the best performing major crypto in the last 90 days.
I told you, XRP has been the best performing crypto in the last 90 days. Is XRP my favorite coin? No. Do I hold it? Yes. Do I want to make money? Do I foresee it making me money because of the fundamentals that Garlinghouse and the rest of the Ripple army has laid out? Yes. Yes.
We think about it as, what does that look like over the next 3 years?
We're looking at it. What does this look like over the next 3 years?
I'm very optimistic. I mean, Ripple just announced our largest acquisition, actually one of the largest acquisitions in the entire crypto industry today.
The largest acquisition in the entire crypto industry with Hidden Road, I believe it was what, $1.25 billion?
We announced it earlier this week on Tuesday, in the middle of tariff palooza. I don't know exactly what's going to happen with tariffs, but we're betting on where the world's going to be in 3 years, not what's going to happen in the next 6 months.
Would you have made that acquisition a year ago?
No, hard no. Look, the SEC in the United States and even other parts of the Biden administration, it was a coordinated attack across many different agencies. We're finding that more and more out now. You already highlighted it in your introduction. The IRS had hostile rules about crypto that really didn't make any sense. Banks weren't even allowed
DeFi broker rule.
to reasonably custody crypto.
Banks were not allowed to reasonably custody crypto, and they were debanking crypto companies.
Without having an equal offset to their balance sheet, which really makes no sense for a bank then to even partake in this industry. It's a real industry. That administration wasn't listening to consumers. They weren't listening to the voter and what the voter wanted. We're now seeing a significant change across the board. And an acquisition like that would have made no sense a year ago, and it makes a lot of sense now.
An acquisition like Hidden Road would make no sense a year ago, but it makes sense today. And this is why it is so important to be patient and also to learn when to pivot. He literally said we would not have made this acquisition a year ago because of the SEC and the previous administration and their predatory practices against them. But now they are in a pro-crypto environment and they are able to actually build. Not only was XRP one of the leaders in the market, but they are able to actively build for the future, for longevity. I don't know if you guys also heard Kraken, popular crypto exchange. I use them. I love them. They are also allowing trading for ETFs and stocks and all kinds of things, just like crypto.com. All of these crypto exchanges are going to be integrating traditional finance. Traditional finance is eventually going to be integrated utilizing RWA, so you can trade 24/7, 365. It's all going to be tokenized. Projects like XRP and Hedera and Chainlink and other leaders in the RWA ecosystem will perform well, in my personal opinion. And yes, we're going to talk about Ohm. We're going to talk about Mantra, and we're going to address all that. I put out a short for you guys right when it happened. But I just wanted to talk about this with Ripple. And I wanted to talk about RWAs because they would have not invested $1.25 billion. Okay. And again, you don't have to be a big Ripple fan. You don't have to be a big XRP fan to at least appreciate what is happening with the crypto space. To me, this is wonderful news. This is a great way to wake up on a Monday morning. Are my bags up? They're not up a whole lot. But we're in a landscape to where we can build without fear. And this is the America I know and love. So that was that story. Let me see if I missed anything for you guys, okay? Yeah, focusing on macro trends. Now, in this story over here, this is from You Today, XRP sees abnormal buying activity amid 795 million crypto fund sell-off. So let's go ahead and cover this. As most of you guys know, XRP and Ripple, the company, they have set times when they sell, and it's since inception. And if you're somebody who's actively trading it or holding it, you should be paying attention to that. So XRP attracted 3.4 million in inflows during a week of 795 million in overall outflows from digital asset investments. XRP led non-Bitcoin tokens in net flows despite negative market sentiment, and the broader crypto market saw significant outflows, 751 million from Bitcoin and 37.6 million from Ethereum. So they attracted 3.4 million in inflows while people were selling. People were selling because of liquidations and all these cuckoo things. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the current state of the market and see what's going on. On the week, XCN has been doing incredibly well. Of course, Fartcoin, because we are not a serious industry. Helium, HNT, because the SEC investigation is completely over with, because they didn't do anything wrong. And then let's go ahead and take a look at Bitcoin or the rest of the market on the daily. Daily is not looking too great. We had a really exciting weekend, but let's go ahead and see what we can see on the chart. So let's see. And again, we are still in a trade war. We will cover some of those updates in a bit. All right. So yesterday I talked about wanting Bitcoin to break above, really to kind of close above this area of resistance about 84. We haven't yet, but Market CIPHER just printed a green dot, and this is indicating potential upward movement. Again, I would like to really get that close over 86 because of these two candle heads here, which act as support or as resistance right now for the week of 324 and 317. So I'd like to see a nice close above that. However, right now on the short term on the micro, we just need to get back above 84 and sustain. So we'll see what happens there. Now, taking a look at the 4 hour. 4 hour is a little bit of volatility here because, again, this is an important area of resistance. It looks like we're going to be heading down a little bit. We might retest 83, but at the same time, it is looking bullish on a longer time frame, in my personal opinion. And we just can draw a trend line here and just to see where we would land. For Ethereum is doing okay. She could always be doing better, but we have been able to sustain above 1530, which is an important area of support for this previous price action in 2023. Again, if you guys would like to trade with me, I'm on Femex. They also have MemeX, where you can custody your own coins and trade as you please there. And if you sign up, anybody can sign up from anywhere. If you sign up, my link is down below. I think they're giving up to $2,000 in rewards right now, so make sure to check it out. Not your keys, not your coins, and read the terms of service. So Ethereum is in a really ugly downtrend, but at the same time, hopefully, if we can sustain support over here at about $1,500, we can start to hit some important areas of resistance, some targets. These are just little targets over here. Why is it not working? Anyways, you guys see what I'm talking about over here. So Ethereum's going to do her thing. Solana's just kind of chilling. We on the weekly, we were able to close above 121. We weren't able to close above 135, which is fine. XRP has been one of the stronger coins, which we've talked about. We pumped from about 54 cents, hit an all-time high of $3.40. Then we had a drop down to about $1.80, but we were back above crucial area of support at $2. And even though we did get a swing look high to 224, we're just as long as we're trading above $2 is great. Chainlink is also doing okay. I would have liked to see a close above the above $13. We were not able to do it, but that is okay. Taking a look at Cardano. Cardano's a little bit sluggish here. It looks like we're going to continue to head down and break down below 63 cents, which isn't too great, primarily because this is an important area of support since earlier this year. HBAR right now, we're holding above 15 cents, which is good, but it does look like we might get a little bit more downside. Aave is also looking like we might get a little bit more downside. And that's why I'm looking for key areas of resistance to be flipped into support because, market price wise is not super great, but at the same time, this is good because some of us that are bullish can continue to accumulate. As far as the total cryptocurrency market cap, we were having trouble getting back above 264. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Mr. Larry Fink. My good buddies from Altcoin Daily, they went ahead and posted this clip here. So we're going to go ahead and listen to Larry Fink. Why are we listening to Larry Fink when we are in crypto and we can do whatever we want, whenever we want, because we trade 24/7, 365? Because Larry Fink has. We're going to talk about Mantra Om. We're going to go ahead and talk about that. So be patient. Be patient. Make sure you guys smash the like. But let's go ahead and listen to Larry Fink.
I believe Bitcoin is legitimate. I believe it is an instrument that you invest in when you're more frightened, though. It is an instrument when you believe that countries are debasing their currency, debasing their currency by excess deficits, and some countries are. I believe we have countries where you're frightened of your everyday existence, and if you have an opportunity to invest in something that is outside your country's control, then you can have more financial control. And so I'm a major believer that there is a role for Bitcoin in portfolios. I believe you're going to see that as one of the asset classes that we all look at. I look at it as digital gold, as I said before, and I do believe there's a real need for everyone to look at it as one alternative to, I would say, the optimism that I have in the world. If you want to hedge hope, Bitcoin is not an instrument for hope, unless you're hopeful you're going to make a lot of money on it. But I look at it as a vehicle in which you're expressing your financial acumen in something that you're more frightened of the world, you're more frightened of your existence. And I believe there's a great industrial use for it. And I think a lot of people are missing that.
So Larry Fink changed his tone on Bitcoin. Why did he change his tone with Bitcoin? Because Bitcoin undermines their bottom line. The banks, traditional finance, hedge funds, all these a-holes, they make money off of you. They are allowed to invest their money however they want to because they get special privileges. And if they screw up, we bail them out. Larry Fink finally understands the importance of Bitcoin, Because it impacts his effing bottom line. You see how that works? You see how that works? So if Larry Fink is buying Bitcoin and Larry Fink thinks Bitcoin is a great, great, great hedge and yada, 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 yourmom.com, pay attention to what he's saying. You don't have to like Bitcoin, just like some people don't like XRP, but guess what? Bitcoin is under $100,000 right now. And that we have all these big institutions come in, playing. Heck, Trump and President Bukele from El Salvador, they're together. They're hanging out. Both, and that is two pro-Bitcoin presidents. This is them earlier today. They are shaking hands. They're probably not going to be talking about crypto, maybe a little bit. However, I would assume they're going to be talking about the other issue. But the fact that we have two pro-crypto presidents together is outstanding. And one of the things that I love about this the most, is that President Bukele from El Salvador took a chance and added made Bitcoin, legalized Bitcoin as legal tender. Using volcanoes for geothermal energy to mine Bitcoin, really, really took a chance when the whole entire world was against him, when El Salvador was one of the most undesirable places. So he did what he needed to do. He took a big risk, and people are like, oh my God, freaking out. El Salvador is not perfect right now, but as far as their safety and other aspects, they're doing just fine. And the reason why I keep bringing it up, and in relation to America, is our backs are against the wall right now. Something has to change. Something has to change. I do not trust public servants. Just because I vote for somebody doesn't mean I trust them and doesn't mean I agree with them and everything. If you agree with every single thing a person does or says, you're not exercising your mind enough. It's okay to criticize someone. It's okay not to believe everything that somebody says or does. Okay? We're humans. That's what we're supposed to do. But again, El Salvador seems to be thriving under him. But what do I know? All right. So we did that one. Let's this one. All right. Now let's go ahead and talk about Mantra a little bit. So Mantra has a coin called OM. It dumped about 80 or 90% yesterday. I did a TikTok or a short for you guys, and a TikTok, put it out immediately. But Mantra CEO denies insider OM token dump, says Arkham mislabeled wallet. Arkham, this is the only thing with Arkham. These are just wallet trackers, but they can't always verify that wallets belong to certain people, because even though we're operating on a public blockchain, there needs to be certain evidence compiled to showcase that wallet belongs to so and so. Okay, so sometimes things can get a little bit mixed up and whatnot. So again, overall, they're decent. They do a good job of what they do, but not everything is accurate. So let's go ahead and see. So apparently yesterday, which is an RWA coin. And you know what? I want to see if it is a made in America coin. I didn't have time to check this morning. I went out last night. I had to really quickly before we do this, big shout out to everybody who went to Coachella. And I hope you guys know who the Misfits and Danzig are now, and Doyle. But anyways, shout out to everyone that went to Coachella. The streets of Los Angeles were so bare. And I enjoyed a wonderful outdoor festival at the Rainbow Bar and Grill. I love Rainbow. I've been going there for like a million years. I got to see our friends over Faster Pussycat play. Dee had a bunch of friends that he knew, and then we got to see Michael Monroe. I love Michael Monroe. He's like one of my favorites. He's for lead singer of Hanoi Rocks. I love that type of music. And this guy, the talent this guy has at like 62 years old. Oh my God. But anyways, I went there yesterday, so I'm a bit tired. But anyways, I forgot my train of thought. Let's go back to it. Oh yeah, I didn't have time because I woke up late today. I woke up a little bit late. All right. So the crazy thing about Mantra is that it is a top 100 currency. Now it is 100, not marked at 101. So I want to see, let's go and read a little bit about it, because again, Mantra launches 100 million RWA fund and gains Dubai regulatory approval, fueling expansion and ecosystem growth. Mantra successfully obtained a VASP license in Dubai, enhancing their RWA tokenization capabilities, strategic partnerships with funds, and blah, blah, blah. So basically it's talking about there, and this was just 2 days ago. This wasn't very long ago that it happened, but it freaking dumped like crazy. It dumped like crazy. So looks like an overseas coin, but let's go ahead and take a look at coin market cap and see if it is a made in the USA coin, as I'm cooking something. So do you guys see Mantra? Do you see Mantra? And somebody fact check me. Is Mantra, is Ohm, is it a native token made in the USA? Is it? Maybe? Potentially? No? Okay, they're 104. Hold on, let's see. Let's do this. Oh, it won't let you do it that way? Oh, Z. Okay, let's go to Mantra. Okay, hold on. Wendy's just checking. LM. No, it's not a Made in America project. Okay, maker. Okay. Why did I want to check to see if it was in a Made in America project? Well, there's multiple reasons why. First and foremost, projects that, and again, thank you so much, Mixing. Mixing is my buddy, you guys. Mixing helps me produce all of these things. He's absolutely amazing. If I didn't have him helping me out with stuff, I'd go absolutely cuckoo. I mean, I could do it, but I like working with him. He's awesome. And he's so smart. He's quick. Because he's young and I'm old. Anyways, so Mantra is out of Hong Kong. That's interesting because Hong Kong is pretty strict with regulatory stuff. But the point being here is the United States does have a lot higher standards. If you're gonna open a coin, like launch a coin in America, there's a lot of different standards and things that can happen. Yes, can people still do bad things with Made in America coins? 100%. But at the same time, we're super strict, and crypto is not a friendly regulatory environment for a long time. So that's why I tell you guys to pay attention to RWA projects made in the USA. Are those foolproof? No. Could there be bad things that happen? Yes. Are people bad? Some people are bad. Yes. But at the end of the day, I feel a little bit more comfortable with stuff that is based in the US for the most part, except for something like VeChain, just because they've been building so darn long. But again, I digress. Anyways, back to it. So let's go ahead and kind of go through the titty bitties over here. So Ohm fell 90% in the last 24 hours. The native token for RWA project Mantra, it fell from $5.21 to 60 cents. Right now, it is currently trading at, let's see. Sorry, guys, my ADHD. Ohm. Yeah, it's still trading at about 51 cents. Some people are buying the dip. Me personally, right now, where I am in the world, I'm just kind of chilling right now. I'm kind of just chilling. I'm going to watch things. I've got my portfolio set up the way I want to have it set up. And I'm really just kind of focusing on Made in America projects with the exception of a few. CEO denied reports of whales dumping Ohm tokens before the crash, promise on-chain proof that no key investors or advisors sold Ohm. And this is a really cool thing. And again, this is horrific for people that were invested. My heart goes out to you. But at the same time, the interesting good thing about crypto is that we can track all these things on chain, and we can use on-chain analytics to figure out what really happened. Because this is a horrific situation. My heart goes out to all of you that were impacted by this. But at the same time, at least we'll be able to get some sort of clarity soon. Now, investors themselves also denied dumping before the crash, despite on-chain data showing 227 million in Ohm moved to exchanges ahead of the collapse. Look On-Chain reported 227 million in Ohm was moved by 17 wallets to exchanges before the crash, and one of the wallets was linked to Shuruk, an investment firm, received 2 million Ohm tokens before the crash, and Shuruk claimed its equity investors did not sell any Ohm, which we'll find out if that's true or not. Mantra CEO said all of the wallets involved are unknown and mislabeled by on-chain analytic firms. That I find a little bit hard to agree with. I don't think all of them are mislabeled. Maybe a couple are, but I don't think all of them. Binance also said the crash was due to cross-exchange liquidations. It could have been, but it depends. They also noted major tokenomics changes in Mantra since October 2024, and that's enough to do it. Anytime you change tokenomics, you change really the entire project for the most part, which includes an increased supply. I don't know why you would want to do that, especially in crypto, but I wasn't invested in the project. I don't know much about it. Mantra founders reportedly control 90% of the supply, and people on X claim Mantra has terrible tokenomics and a lack of fundamentals. So let's go ahead and go over some of these screen caps over here. Let's see. All right. This is from Cointelegraph about the 227 million in OM move to exchanges ahead of the collapse. And again, blockchain analytics are there. Sharuk, who is a multidimensional investment firm, basically said, let's set the record straight. No tokens were sold. He posted this over here. So, on-chain analytics folks will go ahead and verify that. As a long-term equity investors in Mantra, our conviction hasn't wavered. We are here for the mission, enabling regulated real-world asset tokenization on-chain. It's going to be interesting because they have that thing going on with Dubai. Also, shout out to everybody that's going to Token 2049. I will not be there, but you guys will have fun. Oh, Binance customer support follows me. That's cute. Anyways, Binance customer support's addressing the situation, whatnot, which we just kind of covered, but it's good that they're making a public statement. That's one good thing about Binance is they do come out with statements. And then this is actually from Mantra, their official post. We want to assure you Mantra's fundamentally strong today. The activity was triggered by reckless liquidations. Let's actually go to Bitcoin liquidations and see, or to CoinGlass, I believe. I don't know why. All right, exchanges, market funding, liquidation. All right, this is the liquidation map for the last hour. Let's go to 24 hours and see. What the hell? You guys are ridiculous. 24 hours. I don't see Mantra here. I don't see Ohm. Do you guys see Ohm? Aave, party already file. I don't see it. So maybe I'm stupid and maybe I'm missing something. Real-time liquidation. Let's see. Tron. I'm just trying to see if it's we can find. Oh, here we go. Ohm. Okay, so. Liquidation, not really big liquidations over here. 1 million. So I guess this is real-time liquidations, and these were longs that were liquidated. I don't know. I don't like to look into this crap. It happened on Binance, and where else did it happen at? I can't read that. I think it's okay. I think that's OKX or Bybit maybe. I don't know. I can't read that. Anyways, with that being said, maybe I could find it here. It's not even in the top for the total liquidations. Maybe I could see here better. Sorry, guys. Okay. So liquidations in the last 24 hours were 61 million and 24 million for OM. Okay, let's just go back here. For Bitcoin, I mean, I guess it's a smaller cap. Yeah, it is a pretty big bounce of liquidations. It is. It's very, very, very big in the last 24 hours. Yeah, very, very big. Okay, so that could have. But that's the thing, you guys, is like when we look at the charts really quickly, and I'm not saying as a rug pull, I don't do that crap. I don't call things out like that. It, like, sucks, whatever it is. Let's see if we can see it on Binance. This is what the chart looks like. These chart patterns right here. Good morning, gamer. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure y'all smash like. These chart patterns right here. These look like rug pulls. These look like. Look at this. This looks like a rug pull. This looks like pumped to 90 cents and then it started pumping again in 2024. This doesn't look. It looks a little cuckoo. I don't know. I'm not saying it's a rug pull, but that's kind of generally what a rug pull pattern looks like for it to drop like that. But anyways, we will keep moving. We will keep moving. Now, this is from my buddy Carlos, or Carlo. If you guys want to read what he says, you should. I'll go ahead and I'll post it in the chat. He's an attorney and he's actually a very intelligent human being. So y'all want to go, also smash the like. We got over 300 people in here. Smash the like, smash the like. If y'all want to read that, I'm going to post it in the chat for you. It's a good thread. It's a really good thread. But anyways, next. Binance has announced the results of the second batch to vote list and will list ONDO, Big Time, and Virtual's protocol. Nice. So ONDO was listed, and that's why when we talk about RWAs, let's see if ONDO's there. Let's see if ONDO's there. Made in the USA. Born in the USA. Let's see if ONDO's here. I think it is. Oh, we got our Hedera right there. ONDO, yeah, made in the USA. So ONDO is made in the USA and it was just listed on Binance, and that's very good for them. Next story. This is from Mr. The Senate banking chair, but he's saying Bitcoin and crypto legislation will be passed in August. I appreciate this take from him. However, one thing I will say, we know that August is kind of the deadline, but it's going to be stablecoin regulation first. But this is still good. This is still positive. And that's why I remember when I said quarter one and quarter two will be incredibly volatile. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. So quarter three. So that checks out that we might get some nice upward action. Anyways. Okay. So Tim Scott highlighted the GOP's progress on crypto legislation, noted the passage of 2 key bills within his first 100 days as chair. The Genius Act and the Firm Act are set to move to the Senate floor. Genius Act establishes federal rules for payment stablecoins, and the bill mandates that stablecoins must be fully backed by liquid assets. Firm Act focuses on debanking. This is not really addressing crypto, though. Not really addressing crypto. What else? Yeah, I want to just do, there's some other things. They're kind of boring. I just want to do a few. This one is JP Morgan. JP Morgan rolls out GBP blockchain payments, extending ERU and USD offerings. That's just pushing forward stablecoin adoption globally. This is from over the weekend. This is important. Federal Reserve is absolutely ready to help stabilize the market if needed. Top official Susan Collins has said in response to bond market. So basically what they're going to do here, this means money printing. This means the fluctuation of interest rates and just a lot of cuckoo-ness happening. So make sure you guys pay attention to those things, primarily because it's going to impact the market and it could pump or dump crypto. Tariffs over here. This is just about the whole China thing. It says U.S. tariffs. U.S. imports approximately 100 billion of computers, smartphones, and blue chips. Total of 439 billion of goods were imported from China into the U.S. This means 23% of all Chinese imports coming to the U.S. are now exempt from reciprocal tariffs. This is a massive U-turn in policy. So again, over the weekend, we talked about the reciprocal tariffs and that it was going to be paused on electronics. So it looks like about 23% of those imports. However, President Trump now says there was no exemption. We're taking a look at semiconductors and the whole electronic supply chain in the upcoming national security tariff investigation. So now Trump is saying no, but it was reported yes, but they're taking a look at it. So it's kind of like on pause right now. Also, NVIDIA to manufacture American-made AI supercomputers for the first time in the U.S. It's going to start in Arizona, which is going to be interesting. I've also been reading a few things, and what I've been reading is that America can and this is my take on the whole China tariff thing. Right now, we need China. Right now, China needs us. China needs us is because if we stop buying from them, it's going to impact their factories, it's going to impact their workers, it's going to impact a lot of things, and it's not going to be good long term for China. So what I think what America could do is if they stop building factories and use machines and AI to build all this crap, it would be in the next 5 to 10 years. But in the meantime, we need China right now, and China needs us. So it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen with the market. But overall, shout out to the XRP Army. Thank you to everybody who's been watching the show. I got a video for you guys dropping about XRP at 2 p.m. PST, so make sure you check it out. If we do get more breaking news, I will go ahead and update you. But thank you guys so much for supporting the O Show, everything crypto and NFTs every day. I greatly appreciate you guys. But I will be back soon, and I will see you guys. I got more content to make. Bye-bye.